Hi there, how are you? Adam Williams here with EasyWay Photoshop. In this tutorial, we're going to take a look at one of my all-time favorite Photoshop processing techniques, and that is the split tone technique. Let's go ahead and open up an image. And we have this nice stormy sunset taken in Karijini National Park, Western Australia. And we're going to use the split tone technique to give these grasses that really kind of sun-kissed feel, like the sun was just pushing through this hole in the clouds here and lighting up all the tips of these grasses. So let's get started. First of all, down to the adjustment layers icon, the little black and white circle here, and select curves. And if we take a closer look at the curves graph here, you'll see a little hand icon in the top left-hand corner with an up and down arrow. Click on that there. Now this particular tool is used for clicking and dragging down to darken or dragging up to lighten. I don't tend to use it for that purpose because I find that just placing a point in the center of the curve and dragging up or down has much a similar result. So I'm just going to remove that point there by dragging off the side. And that's gone. And I'll show you exactly how to use this color picker to find and split tones within an image. Now, as we hover over the grasses here, you should see a little circle dancing up and down this graph here. There it is there. And if I just stop the mouse for a second, you'll see that circle stops. And that circle is telling us exactly where the pixel underneath the mouse or the color picker there exists on this graph. So as we hover over these grasses, we should be able to find out where the brighter points exist. So let's look for the brightest point or the highest level that circle reaches as we hover over these grasses. And you can see it's around about there. So I'll click and place one point there and then move back over, and we'll do the same, this time looking for the darker areas within those grasses. And I'm not necessarily looking for the darkest of the darks, I'm just looking for the general area where the darks exist. And it seems to be around about there. Okay, so what we've managed to achieve now is we've isolated that the darkest area in those grasses is around about here, and the lightest area is around about here, and everything in between exists along here. If we go ahead and click and drag those light points in an upwards direction, you will see that we're splitting the tones or making the distance greater between the darks and the lights, thereby giving us this extreme contrast to these grasses here. Now don't worry about what's happening to the rest of the image, because we're now going to hit Command or Control I, invert that layer, and selecting B for brush, and around about 50% opacity and 50% flow, and our hardness here is on 0. And of course a white brush there. We can go ahead and just paint that effect just across the tops of those grasses there, just with a nice soft brush, maybe a little across the top there, and a little across there. And as we toggle that effect on and off, we can see before, and then the huge difference that that particular layer has made at after. And that's basically all there is to the split tone technique. It's a rather simple yet very effective technique. Thank you once again for watching along. I look forward to seeing you at the next tutorial. Bye for now.